All right. What up, guys? Justin, Valuetainment Saunders, and in this video, I have an awesome training I'm going to be going over with you, and we're going to be covering the 5 steps to keeping your clients so that they're going to be staying with you for 6+ months. And after you get this training in place, it's going to be a duplicatable process that you can use over and over and over again. So I'm very excited for this. You're going to be making a lot of money after you implement this. So I've got a presentation that I'm going to pull up, and we'll start with that. As I pull this up, if you guys want to comment on here, give me a hashtag live if you're with me live. If you're on the replay, give me a hashtag replay so I know where you're coming from. You know the drill. All right. Cool. So let me just share my screen. We'll get this up and running for you. Awesome. Make this on the big screen. Beautiful. So in this training, I'm going to share with you the 5 simple steps that you can implement to keep your clients paying you for 6+ months after they signed. So if you stick until the end on here, I've got something even better, and I'm going to give you a bonus gift from me to you. It's well worth over $500, and it's going to shortcut a lot of the stuff that you're going to learn in here. So for the first 25 people that are on here paying attention and doing exactly what I say to do this, you will get this. So I want to reward those that come on live and participate in here. So if that's you, stay on here, give some hearts, give some likes, and we will jump into the training. So before I jump into this, I want to just give you a little back end story on how I learned, client retention and why I developed this simple 5-step process. Because to be honest with you, when I first got started with my agency, for all of you guys that have been following me for a little bit, you know that I used to work at another digital marketing agency when I was in college, and that's how I learned sales. It was just, going door to door, and I would sell this stuff. And then I realized that, the 10% checks weren't really paying the bills. While I was in college, it was good, but I always wanted more. So I learned how to do the back end fulfillment and started my own advertising agency. And when I first started it, I was good at sales. So I knew how to get in front of prospects. I knew how to build a pipeline, and I knew how to close the deal. I just didn't know really how to fulfill. And it ended up being one of the biggest nightmares I had, because the first 5 clients I got, all of them left me. And it was one of those things where I thought I was on top of the world. I thought, 5 clients, I'm at 10K a month. Like I'm set, I can, I can go travel the world. I can do all this stuff. And it's one of those things where, when you first get into this space, when you first get to your first 10K, you're like, okay, all these people are going to stay with me. I've just got to get 5 more and 5 more and 5 more. And I just keep stacking the dough. But it didn't work like that, because they quickly all left right after the first 30 days. Right after the agreement ended, everybody left. And I was devastated, right? And I'm sure there's a couple of you, if you've been doing this for a while, you can definitely relate. If you're getting started, here's a fair warning that it probably will happen, but it's a good experience. So if you can relate to that, let me know. Give me a 1 in the chat, just so I can see, and because I'm sure there's a lot of you in here that's probably been through the same thing. But anyways, I got pissed off, to be honest with you. Like I got real pissed off, because I thought, getting 5 clients, 10K a month, like I'd be set. I wouldn't have to do anything. I'd never have to work again, blah, blah, blah. Like the dream that we're all sold on, but they all left. Right. And that got me pissed off. So I wanted to learn. I'm a type of person that whenever I can't figure something out, I will go all in, and I will stop at nothing until I figure it out. So that's exactly what I did. I invested, I learned, I found the people that were keeping clients, and I paid them for their time. And I took notes, I documented, I tested, I did everything I could to simplify this process so that I could get better client results. And trust me, when I say I invested, this wasn't just like a one-time thing. I'm still investing today to get to the best results, but this is something that, you know, I've invested a lot of money into learn a lot of this stuff. So I'm here going to share it. You know, people call me Justin Valuetainment Saunders for a reason, because I bring the value to you guys. I'm going to bring the value that I've spent a lot of money with to learn, to share with you guys. So I'm excited about this because not only has our client retention gone up, but, you know, I've had clients staying with us 2+ years. I've had one client actually right now who is going on year 4 with us. So the stuff I'm about to share with you actually works. And when you implement it the right way, you will see some pretty crazy results. So if you want to see this training, you know, give me a thumbs up, give me some hearts, give me a comment down below. Let's go, and we'll jump into it. I grab this quick drink. Gotta love the water. I'm a big guy into water. I love to stay hydrated. Anyways, let's jump into step 1. This is where, and again, I coach right now. I'm currently coaching 50+ agency owners every single week. And one of the biggest things I've noticed when it comes to client retention is they don't set expectations up the right way, right? Like that is one of the biggest things where people, agency owners, struggle with, is not setting expectations and building that foundation. It's something that I talk about a lot, is building the foundation. Think about it like anytime you get in a relationship, you need to build that foundation the right way, because if you don't build the foundation the right way, things are not going to go good, right? Like you guys are going to walk all over each other. Like things don't go well if you don't set the expectations and the foundation the right way. So what I like to do, here's a little screenshot of one of our slides that we do, is set expectations up front, like right after you sign a client. Get them on an onboarding call, schedule it in a week, 10 days, whenever it is. We like to schedule the onboarding call when we're about to go live. So on the onboarding call, we'll actually go live with, like, we'll publish the campaign on that call with the client. So before you even do that, you want to make sure that you're like you're letting them know, like after you close a deal, like what's to come next, right? So like after you close the deal, if it takes you 10 days to fulfill, say, all right, well, cool. Next step, you're going to receive an email, book. You're going to be able to book in 10 days from now. And that's going to be our onboarding call. And then on that call, we'll review everything, and then we'll publish your campaign. 7, 10 days, 3 days, whatever it is, you know, do it, whatever is up with your client, whatever your process is. But you really want to tell them the expected results. And this is where a lot of people screw up. They try over promising and under deliver. We under promise and over deliver. I've taken that in an attitude with what I do in everything in life. So keep that in mind. If you want to, this is the most important thing you possibly do, is be real with them on what the actual results are. So, and that kind of comes to sales, like selling them, not overselling, just being straight with them. Be like, hey, this is what you're going to get. Tell them when they're going to get it by, and then frame it. This is huge right here. This is absolutely one of the most crucial parts. You want to frame it as a 90-day journey. And we actually have in here, one of our slides is, we invite you to come on here and join us on this 90-day journey, because what we found is the majority of our clients that stick with us for 90 days are the ones that get the best results. And this kind of goes with what your agreement is. I mean, if you're selling them on 1 month agreements, you know, I like bigger contracts personally, just because there's more, you get better results and there's more trust in it. So it depends on what you actually sold them with. But if you're selling 1 month agreements, I would suggest on here to maybe try to upsell them to a 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month agreement. We teach inside High Ticket Freedom how to do that, but that is something that will get you a lot more revenue, consistent MRR, and help you scale your business to the next level. So, I mean, kind of just going on there before I go to step 2 is, and this is a very easy way to explain it to the clients, is like, think about it like you're investing in the S&P, right? You don't put money in for let's say you don't just put money in for 1 month, and if you don't see a return after 1 month, you get upset and you take your money out, right? It's the same thing with a marketing agency and investing. It's a lot easier to put your money in the S&P 500 for 12 months and come back and see a return. Whereas if you just got upset in 1 month and took it out, right? And you can say the same thing for your clients. Like we don't want to work with people that want immediate results, because like in marketing, that's very unrealistic, right? And the best way to really go about this is think about it like the S&P 500 and kind of explain it like I just did there. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that on the selling side, because you guys have already, at this point already closed the deal. But this is really where you want to make sure you set the expectations the right way and let them know, especially if you're doing Facebook ads or SEO, like depending on what you're doing, if you realistically don't get fast results, you got to play it to your advantage of being upfront and honest and tell them, hey, like this is when, sell them on what your actual services are. So that's why I like longer term commitments, just because there's no fluff in it. And then this is how we do it. Like literally the first call, like the first slide, we go over a presentation with them. We go, hey, this is agendas for today's call. We go over our account manager is usually doing this. And then we go over team member roles, basically trying to figure out who it is on their team, who's going to be receiving the text, who's going to be handling the leads, who's going to be calling the leads, have they have experience, really diving in deep on their team, making sure that's set up. Again, setting the expectation. We have a cancellation policy. You're going to get billed unless you let us know within 72 hours. So if that's what you have in the agreement, put that there. Obviously, we're probably a little bit different than what you have. Pick a day to go live. We usually just do it on this call. And then schedule check-in calls. I'll go over that more in another step, but those are huge. We do weekly check-in calls for a week and then bi-weekly after that. And then we want to make sure that their agreement is signed. So that's step one, set expectations up front. Step two, check-in calls. Check-in calls weekly. This has been the absolute biggest game changer for keeping clients consistently and making sure they're happy, is having check-in calls where you're actually going in, and on these calls, you're figuring out the issues before they even come afloat. Because a lot of times in the agency space, and I've literally worked with over 300 local businesses at this point, is you need to find the issues before they come to you. Because if your client comes to you with an issue and you don't already know that, that's downhill from there. That is not good. That's where you become a problem. You need to become a problem solver and find solutions first. So that's why we do check-in calls weekly. And we do them for the first 4 weeks, because let's face it, what we're doing here and what we're building is a system. We're systematizing things. And guess what? Systems don't always work. Zaps break, employees get sick, employees do something wrong, you do something wrong. We're human beings and we're running on technology. Like, things happen. And when you relay that to your client, just like how I said to you guys, like they get it, but you need to over communicate with them. And that's probably honestly what I'd put on here as well, is over communicate, because that's huge. That could honestly just be a full one by itself, is over communicate. But really what you want to do here is take their feedback, ask questions, and make sure you implement what they say. Like, don't just ask questions and then just leave it there. Like, you actually want to do what they say. And we have a question asking sheet inside High Ticket Freedom. For any of you guys that are on here watching this from the program, from our mastermind program, it's in there. If you want more information on that, just reach out. But we really like to simplify this for our mastermind students. But anyways, what you want to do is you really just want to make sure on these calls that you're figuring out all of the problems before they even come up. That's huge. When you can become a solutionist, you're going to make a lot of money. So step one, set expectations up front. Step two, check-in calls weekly. Step three, be realistic. If your campaign is not performing, extend it. It's very simple. Like, I've had conversations with people who they did not deliver as an agency, and then they get upset with the client and tell them, well, we didn't deliver, but this is what we did. Like, you're not going to get an extension. The client gets upset and leaves. Like, it makes zero sense, right? Like, if your campaign is not performing, you need to make up for that. Extend it. And it's okay if it's not. Like, we have, like I mentioned, I've worked over with worked with over 300 local businesses. Like some campaigns just don't work in certain areas. Like it's just how it is. But you need to be doing everything in your power to fix that. And a couple of things you can do is give bonuses, like give extra leads, give extra time, like do more, not less. Whenever you're in doubt, like if something's not working, do more. Like don't retreat, go the extra mile. Think about it like that. Always go the extra mile, especially when things aren't working. And then over communicate again, kind of like what we were talking about in step 2 right here. Over communicate if things aren't working. You need to do that, and you need to be doing that on check-in calls. And lastly, when it comes to being realistic, always over deliver. Put that term in your vocabulary, because when you say that, clients catch on to it. And if you guys have been following me, you know I say that all the time. And that's what gets people into our agency. That's what gets people like you watching this into my program, because I over deliver on everything I do. And once you do that, it goes into everything else you do. Which, side note, I did an awesome video on that on my Instagram at Justin J. Saunders. If you want to go check that out later after this video, stay here, watch this video on how to, it's called Finding Success First, but it's the same thing of when you do things over and over, it's talking about building your habits. It's going to overlay in everything else you do. And like when you over deliver for one thing you do in life, it's going to go on to everything else you do. So over deliver, not just on your client's campaign, over deliver on the gym, over deliver on anything that you need, anything that's good in your life. Like just over deliver. So step 1, set expectations up front. Step 2, check-in calls weekly. Step 3, be realistic. And step 4, send gifts. This has been huge. If a client's with you for a while, send them a gift. Come up with a game plan strategy of like every 3, 6, 9, 12 months, like you give them a new gift. Like, I mean, think about it like this. If a client's with you for 12 months, you should be buying them like an iPad or something. I mean, 12 months, let's just do the math on that. 12 months times what? I mean, our deals right now are at minimum $3,000, $3,600. You can afford an iPad with that. I promise you. Like, get them something nice. Another thing you can do is do handwritten notes. There's a website. It's called Handwritten. I'll pull it up real quick just so you guys can check it out. It's called Handwritten, where you can literally just come in here and like actually write notes and then send them out. I'll let you guys learn a little bit more about that later on, but it's a website called Handwritten. Good website. If you don't want to use that, use another one. There's thousands of them. You know, get creative with it, whatever you want to do. Send them a bottle of wine. I've done this before. Baby gifts. We had one of our clients who was out of her office for a while, and our account manager came up with a brilliant idea of getting her a big box of like a big box of just like baby gifts. Like, and I'll be honest with you guys, like that's not my specialty. I'm not good at this type of thing. Like, you know, this is not what I'm good at, but I have team members that are good at it. And that's another important thing to think about. Like, if you're not good at something, either, you know, be realistic with yourself and you can hire it out. If not, learn how to do it. Like, and I'll tell you that straight up front. Like, I've never been good at marketing. I've never been good at sales, but like that's skill sets I've had to learn. So realize what you have to learn and what you can, you know, outsource. Like, for example, like sending gifts, like, yeah, it's probably a good skill to learn. But I have somebody on my team that's really good at it. So we pay them to do it. Xbox games, you know, if your client is a big gamer, find out what their favorite game is and send it to them. Like this, I put Xbox games here because this can be whatever it is that your client likes. Like everyone has their unique ways. I personally am not a gamer, but you know, if I find out one of my clients is, and they've been with us for like 6 months or something, I'll send them their favorite game, you know, something, get creative with it. Just find out what your client wants and give it to them. Sending gifts is huge. It builds trust and it builds relationships too. So this one really, I mean, I should honestly just name this how to build relationships with your clients, because when you build relationships, that's when your clients stay with you, and they will stay with you for a very long time and pay you a lot of money. So step 1, set expectations up front. Step 2, check-in calls weekly. Step 3, be realistic. Step 4, send gifts. And Step 5, be realistic. Know what sales is. Like, people buy from people they like. They continue to buy from people they like. If your client likes you, you're going to have a much longer chance of keeping them around. Like, there's no secret sauce on this one, guys. Like, just be yourself and be honest with them. Like, treat them like a real person. Treat them how you would like to be treated. I'm going to say, treat them like you're the client. Like, if you were your exact client, how would you treat yourself? How would you like to be treated? And I think one of the reasons I personally am so good at like client retention and doing these type of things is because I've put myself in their shoes, and I've invested a lot of money to be in programs, coaching programs, to like lead generation, like getting services from people. And I always pick up on things I like and things I don't like. Like, that's one thing I love about joining a new program or anything, is like learning how they deliver, because you take what you learn from each person, you create your own unique process, right? Like, this is a foundation. You guys can go out there and do this exactly like this, but chances are it's going to keep growing. You're going to add to it. You're going to do different things, just like we do inside our business. So, and that was a little side tangent on this, but like, pick up from what other people are doing. Like, when you're buying into other programs, buying other products, whenever you're investing in yourself, because obviously, that's only, if you're on here watching this, you're definitely somebody that's going to be doing that, because that's the only way to grow a business. Like, successful business owners don't not invest in themselves, right? So, very important thing to keep in mind there. Like, learn what you do, pick up from other programs and other things that you're in, and implement that into what you're doing, and just be real with them. Like, be a real human being, because at the end of the day, if I were to do business with you and I liked you, I'm going to have a much higher chance of sticking around, because a lot of these businesses, like, if they're successful, they have money. Like, a $3,000 marketing ad spend budget isn't shit. Like, that's nothing to a successful business. Like, they want to spend more than that. So that's why, if you set the expectations and do these steps I went over with you on here, you're going to keep them for a while. And that's also going to help you grow as a business. So, as I mentioned and promised you guys, I'm going to give away a $500 gift to 25 of you that do this. So, as I mentioned on step 1, this kickoff guide here, we call it the Setting the Foundation Kickoff Slide Deck. I'm going to give that away to the first 25 people that comment kickoff below. And the reason 25, because I don't want to give it out to everybody. Like, I want more people engaged on here, and I want to reward the people that are on here participating and being live, because we're going to start doing this more consistently. So for the first 25 people that do this, comment kickoff below, and I'll send it I'll reach out in a message. I'll send it your way. And this is going to be something where, think about it like this. If you just implement this and you get one client to stay with you for 12 months, kind of like what we talked about right here, it's not only going to save you a couple $100, it's going to literally save you, over $33,000. Like, if you just do this right with one person, you're going to make a lot of money. So reward yourself for, first off, being on this call, because most people don't have the attention span to stay on a mastermind this long and actually do something to develop themselves. So if you want that, comment kickoff down below. And then lastly, if you guys are any bit serious at all and you want to, let me get out of, stop sharing my screen. There we go. Cool. So last thing I'll leave you guys with, because I see a bunch of kickoffs coming in. Kudos to you guys. We'll get those sent out right away. Last thing, if you guys want to streamline your agency with proven systems, processes, scripts, basically, if you just want a shortcut to scaling your agency, then reach out to me privately about our Prospecting Ninjas. We literally just install Prospecting Ninjas inside agencies. They're already trained. They're trained on the same systems and processes that we're using inside our agency. The same ones that took a brand new agency from 0 to 100K in 3 months. It's actually the agency, the last 3 months, it's done 200K. But it works, right? And that's what we're doing. We're changing the game in the agency space. To be honest with you, nobody else is doing this. And even if anyone else does do it, they can't do it. They can't do it like us, because not many people have 5+ years experience in the agency space like I do. Been doing this for quite a bit of time, and we're literally just giving them the same exact systems and processes and training them on that. They go through a 15-week boot camp and they're trained, and then they're installed inside your business. And it just works really well. So if you need more booked appointments inside your agency and you want to scale, you want to have systems, processes, scripts, you want to have everything that we're doing to grow our business, then reach out to me privately. Give you at least, we have like a pre-recorded video. I can send you a little bit more information. No hard sell here. If you're an agency owner, ideally, if you're doing, 5 to 25K a month right now, and you need to automate your prospecting or need more, this is probably a perfect fit for you. Those are usually our ideal clients. So if that's you, reach out and we can, give you some more information, hop on a call and see if it's a good fit. But with that being said, hope you guys found value in this video. If you did, let me know down in the comments. I'm going to be hopping on here more frequently and consistently. So with that being said, I will see you guys